Hey everybody, welcome back to Champ and Sons and our Madden 21 franchise series where we are the head coach for the Denver Broncos. And we are off to an amazing 4-0 start. Granted, a lot of that has been luck. I can accept that. Out of the 4 wins, 3 of them have been by one score, coupled by a field goal, one of them on a last-second touchdown where we won by one single point. That was actually in the last episode over the Chicago Bears. So I would say we're getting to the meat of our season, or at least the beginning of our season. However, the Patriots and even the Vikings don't have very good records this year, so that's going to be a little bit. Hopefully, it should be a little bit easier for us and kind of continue this winning streak. But once again, we're not really testing with where we are as a team, right? And so just on that note, we're going to jump into the business side of, running the franchise. As y'all know, re-signings, I just kind of look at who comes up, but we don't have a whole lot of options at this point, although our guys are older, and as y'all know from, the Texans franchise, we want to rebuild with younger guys, get a core group of youngsters that we can actually mold into a proper football team, right? So that's where we're looking at some of our people that are up for re-signing. That's who we're actually going through and scouting out right now. And that's the one thing. There's not a whole lot completely available at this point. So free agency, once again, we've got the draft picks, as you see right now. 2 first-rounders. But free agency is where we're going to have to do a lot of movement going on. So let's go ahead and jump on into this game right now, as we are going to be about halfway through the first quarter in a 0-0 ball game, as New England is going to be running it with Sony Michel, and he's going to get only a couple yards on that one. That was only his second carry of the afternoon. He's got 6 yards on the day so far. So now 2nd and 8. New England from the snap, and you'll notice their quarterback is now one and only Daniel Jones, and he heaves that one up, and they're going to actually catch it. The man comes back for it, and he's making Daniel Jones look like freaking Aaron Rodgers. Moore coming back on that little curl route as he gets a big gain all the way down to the 7-yard line. And now New England doing some trickeration right here, getting our guys confused as we don't know where we're going. And Michel's going to get off to the left side, and he's going to get into the end zone for a touchdown. And we are trailing fairly quickly into this game. But we're not we don't give up easily. This has kind of been what's going on for us all season, really. And so now trying to answer back at about under 3 minutes to go in the first quarter, we do have a 2nd and 2, and Drew Lock's going to drop back under pressure, finds Judy over the middle, and Judy's going to break a tackle, but finally get brought down at the 14-yard line, and that is not good as he goes back to the turf, and he is going to be injured. Man, I'm not sure how long hopefully he's not out for that long, because we are going to need him, definitely in this game, but also for the rest of the season. If we're going to try to continue to make any type of push with the start we've had, we are going to need him. So after that injury, now with the 1st and 10 from the 14, Locke is going to hand it off to who is Melvin Gordon right up the middle for a pretty good gain of about 5 or 6 yards as he gets down to the 9-yard line, bringing up a 2nd and 5. We're pretty dang close into that end zone. That is where we need to be to try to get some points on the board and respond to this touchdown. So Locke's going to be in the shotgun again, and this time he scans over the field, and he's going to try to scramble, and we get sacked. Big time loss on that one. That defensive line just collapsed on us. It looks like Judy will return soon, but his re-injury risk is medium. So I do go ahead and basically sub him out. Now you'll notice Mr. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside has stepped onto the field. He is going to start playing a little bit more right now just because with the way the injury happened to Judy, Hamler being moved up, it's kind of a spot where he fills in pretty perfectly. So now after that false start penalty, we have a 3rd and 15 coming off from the 18-yard line now. As Locke's going to be in the shotgun, we got 3 to our right, and we got Sutton off to our left side. Locke's going to fire to the tight end. He's going to get into the end zone. Touchdown, Denver. What a throw on that one, as he read it perfectly with New England bringing the pressure. And that linebacker Hightower just could not drop back in time. And he laid it up almost as perfect as you could right into his hands and made that an easy touchdown for him. So now after we do stop New England and they punt the ball over to us, we have a possession again with a 2nd and 2 at New England's 31-yard line. We're going to run it to the right side with Cone, and he's going to get stopped pretty quickly on that one. He's got 3 rushes for 21 yards today. We did hit one a little bit bigger on the outside with him earlier in the game. Tried to do it again, and this time they said, not today, good sir, not now. So 3rd and 3 is what we have here at the 32-yard line. Under 10 minutes to go in the second quarter. Drew Lock's going to be in the shotgun. We got 2 to our right and Sutton off to our left side. And Lock's going to get the snap and kind of scroll out to his right, and he finds... Who is that? Arcega-Whiteside over the middle for a big-time gain, as he gave it just enough time getting rid of the ball right before he got hit. And Arcega-Whiteside with some speed catches up to it, makes a great play for us, getting us down into the red zone at the 15-yard line. On the very next play, we're going to hand it off to Gordon over to the left side, and we're going to pick up about 4 yards. So that's more or less what we need on our first down run. A good 4 yards every rush play. Actually, we do it. 3 of them, you got yourself a first down. So now at the 2nd and 6 from the 10, Locke's going to be scanning the field. He rolls out to his right side. He'll find Sutton coming over the middle, and he will be brought down at the 1. He could not fight into the end zone. Just didn't have it in him. So we are now 3 feet away from pay dirt at about 8.5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Now we're going to go a hefty set. 2 tight ends, fullback, and Gordon in the backfield. And we're going to toss it over to Gordon. He's going to try to push forward. He reaches out. He gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Denver. As that will give us a lead, 14-7 now, as we have tried to take control of this game, and we are starting to get it. Hammering it down their throat, making some big throws on key downs, getting the first down, and then the touchdown. Now we're going to jump ahead to about 10 minutes to go in the third quarter, as the half did end at 14-7. And we're going to watch him start handing it off to Sony Michel. He's got 11 rushes for 39 yards and a touchdown on the day. He hasn't really broken it big on us, kind of like on that play, but he has been consistent. So now New England with the 1st and 10. About 9 minutes remaining here in the third quarter from the 15-yard line. Jones under center. Hands it to Michel up the middle. Makes a man miss. And is finally going to be brought down after getting another gain of about 11. Taking it to the 4-yard line. Bringing up a 1st and goal for New England. As this game, they're trying to get this thing tied up now that the second half has started. So Jones is going to be in the shotgun this time. Multiple wide receiver set. Michel off to his left side. Hands it to Sony Michel. We're going to finally get him stopped, but it still takes multiple of us to bring him down for basically no gain on that one, as it gives them a 2nd and goal from the 4-yard line. Now Jones is going to be under center. They have 2 tight ends with 2 receivers off to his left side. Jones is going to get the snap, hands it to Michel. Michel's going to fight forward, and we just could not bring him down. And Michel will get into the end zone for his 2nd touchdown on the afternoon. He has just been pounding it down our throats, and there's just nothing we could do to stop him on that one. We had him. We were in his way, but he just moved us like it was like we were just nothing. We were just a fart in the wind, basically, Now, we did respond with a field goal, so we are here a little bit later in the third quarter at about 4 minutes to go. And Michel's going to fumble it to us. We had the lead already, and Michel gets blasted by Simmons, and that ball pops loose, and Wallace is able to fall on it. Oh, my goodness, that was a violent collision. As we will recover within the 40 yards of New England. And so this is prime position. We have a 3-point lead after getting a field goal. And this is how, you make a statement. This is where you take that next step to try to show that we're not the same team we were last year. A 5-11 team doesn't complete that. A 5-11 team throws it up, and it's going to be knocked down by... That is Judy. He is out on the field finally. Oh, man, thankfully it didn't get intercepted. But a 5-11 team does not get a touchdown on this drive. Okay, a team that's turned the corner, you get the touchdown and you start to seal the win. So on the 2nd and 10, we will throw it to our tight end, and he's going to fight forward all the way down to the 25-yard line, and that will bring up a new 1st and 10 for us here as we continue to try to expand on this lead. The very next play, 1st and 10. Drew Lock's going to be in the shotgun, 2 to our right and Sutton off to our left side, Melvin Gordon in the backfield. So Drew Lock's going to scan over the field. He throws it up, and oh my goodness. Judy's going to get blasted, but he came down with it. You've got to be kidding me. 24-yard reception. How did he hold on to that one? Wow, what a play that was by Judy. Making the catch and actually holding on while getting blasted. That was a violent collision right there. Now, 1st and goal. We try to go outside again. And this time Gordon is going to be stopped for about a 6-yard loss. So that's not what we needed on that one. Bringing up a 2nd and goal. Instead of from the 1, we're doing it from the 7-yard line right now. So 2nd and goal from the 7. We're going to spread it out to 5 wide. Locke is going to be in the shotgun alone by himself. We're 4 wide with the tight end. And Locke's going to get the snap. It throws up the fade. Sutton's going to come down with it. He fought for position. Great individual effort as he gets the touchdown. And we will extend this lead to become a 10-point ball game. What a play by Cortland Sutton on that one. Watch this as he just pushes his man, gets position, and comes down with it in the end zone. Oh, baby, oh, baby, oh, baby is all I can say. So New England would respond with a field goal to bring it to within 1 score. And now on a 1st and 10 on our next drive, we can get it down to Judy, but it's going to be intercepted. And they're running it back now. We have plenty of space to try to make the tackle, but no one's doing it. Everyone's getting tied up. Our lineman is our last hope, and that's going to be a pick 6. You've got to be kidding me. A 79-yard return. That is BS. I cannot believe we allowed that shit to happen. I really can't. That's pretty dang rough. So now trying to regain the lead after we just gave it up on that stupid pick 6 thrown by Locke. Trying to go for Judy. I don't know why we lofted it up as much as we did. I think a little bit straighter ball. We could have had him in that zone. But the game is tied now, so what happened, happened. So now we have to deal with it. So 2nd and 2 from New England's 23. We run a little bit of a play action. Locke's going to roll out to the right side, stops, and he's going to find... Holy crap! Neal came down with it. What a play that was. Who would have ever seen him making that catch? I never thought that one would have been possible. That he played outside of his capabilities on that one, making the diving reception at the 4-yard line, giving us a new hope. So now 1st and goal from the 4. Locke's going to be in the shotgun with a chance to take the lead back. He's going to scan over the field, drift to his left, fire it up, and that's going to be intercepted again. Oh my God. Get him, trace him down. Drew Lock's going to finally trace him down. That was McCourty with his 2nd interception on the day. And New England would score a touchdown on that one. Now here we are, about 4.5 minutes to go, trailing now 31-24 after Locke's 2 interceptions. And instead of throwing it, he's going to make the smart decision and just run it that time. Well, I trust his feet better than his arm. I will give him that one. As we have a 2nd and 4 now from the 33, 4 minutes to go in this ball game. Locke is going to be under center. We got 3 wide receivers. Cohen in the backfield. He's going to do a little pump action. Hand it to Cohen. He's going to make a man miss. He's going. He's finally brought down at about the 22-yard line. That was a great gain by Cohen, maintaining his balance and spinning off a tackle and getting the ball moving down to the 22. So still, now under 4 minutes, about 3.5 left. Locke's going to be 5 wide in the shotgun all alone by himself. He gets the snap. He scans over the field. He's pressured, and he just barely released that one instead of taking the sack, thankfully. The clock does stop, though, so 3.5 minutes. 2nd and 10 from the 22. We do need a touchdown to tie this ball game. Locke's going to go 5 wide once again. And this time, trying to get protection to work out. They're only bringing 3, so we should have somebody. He's going to dump it off to Robinson. And Robinson's going to actually fight forward all the way down to the 16. He is pretty low on the depth chart, but he has come through for us. On that play, we didn't need a touchdown, but right then we just needed a completion and get moving forward. And he fought for some extra yards and ended up getting out of bounds. And so now, thanks to him, we do have a 3rd and 4 at the 16-yard line. Locke's going to scan the field, fires it over to our tight end. He bowls a man over. He fights forward and is finally brought down at the 2-yard line as this clock is going to continue to tick, getting closer to that 2-minute warning. I really did not think he was going to be able to get that far down the field after that catch. It looked like it almost got intercepted too. But now 1st and goal from the 2. We're not going to get this snap off. We're going to take it to the 2-minute warning. We did try to get them to jump off sides, but that was a no-go. Now 2 minutes to go. 4th quarter, trailing by 7, 6 feet to the end zone. Drew Lock is going to be under center, 2 tight ends to the right side. He's going to roll out to the right. He's got a lane. Lock's going to run it. He's into the end zone for the touchdown. This game is tied up at under 2 minutes, and we play the worst game of, I guess that's hot potatoes, what that celebration's supposed to be. I don't know, but we didn't do it very well. However, we are tied. 1 minute, 52 seconds left. Now, New England did have a holding penalty on their kick return, so that did push them back to the 9-yard line. So this is our opportunity. Daniel Jones has been playing pretty great because of Dante Moore. Has been making some big plays for him. I think we've kind of gotten them figured out at this point. And that first throw was an errant one out of bounds. So now they have a 2nd and 10 from the 9-yard line. Jones is going to fire it over. He should have caught that. To be fair, their man should have caught that pass. We did hit him right as it got to his hands, but that one should have been caught. However, it is now 3rd and 10. This is still a tie ball game, 31-31. 1 minute, 40 seconds left to go. 3rd and 10. Jones is going to hand it off to Michelle. And Bradley Chubb comes through and makes a big stop as we will use 1 timeout and force them to punt the ball back to us with 1.5 minutes left. Now, on our 1st down play, we're going to go play action. We roll it out to the left side, and he makes a smart move and dumps it off to our running back, who gets us down to about the 45-yard line as the clock continues to tick. We are going in the hurry up. Now, Drew Lock is going to be under center, 2 tight ends. Sends a man in motion, gets the snap off, and is going to fire it down to Sutton, who makes the catch, but now we have a flag. And that's going to be a roughing the passer. That's a free 15 yards. That puts us right in primetime field goal position with a brand new set of downs with under 1 minute to go. Now, I know New England is going to have to use their timeouts. Right? So if I can get them to burn their timeouts and just kick a field goal, I don't have to worry about them trying to ice me or anything like that, and we can make this work and just have that last kick be the last thing that happens. So 2nd and 7, after they did call a timeout like I predicted they would, we're going to run it again up the middle with Gordon, and he's going to actually get a good few yards all the way down to the 16. That was a gain of about 5, I believe, as New England uses their 2nd timeout. So 3rd and 3 from the 16, if we can get a 1st down, because I know they're going to call a timeout, but if we can get a 1st down, this game is practically sealed up as long as we make the field goal. And that one does it, and that will do it. That 1st down brings us to this moment right here. Kaimi Fairbairn. He gets the snap, the hold, and the kick is up, and that's going to be good, ladies and gentlemen, as that clock ticks down to absolute 0, as we will take this one from New England. We tried to give it to them. All right, we really did. We tried to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. But somehow, some way, our defense held up when they absolutely had to. And I don't know how Locke has managed to pull this off. But still getting that last-minute game-winning drive for what amounts to about the 4th time this season. That's the only reason why our record is now 5-0. And it's not because of talent. I think a lot of this has had to do more with luck than anything going forward. So now we're taking a look at doing some of our basic player upgrades. Justin Stratt, he's pretty decent. Andrew Rose has been one of our rookies who's kind of been a shining light coming off the edge, getting plenty of pressure and making the sacks ever so often. Now, Marco Hendricks is just a backup tackle, 67 overall. He is developing, so we'll take what we can get from him on that. And, all right, let's see. X Factor cornerback. Let's see, what do we get for him right here? Let's see, 500 XP for all receivers, and that's only because we won the game. We threw the turnovers, don't get me wrong, but it's only because we won that game. So let's go ahead and advance up to the next week where we are taking on the Minnesota Vikings. Now, we are now 5-0 on the season, and we have our first breakout player opportunity. But one thing I want to look at first, not that league history crap. What an update. Woo! I want to look at the records of the teams we've been playing. That's what I think we need to look at to really get a good picture of who we are as a team. So the Jets are 4-2. Now, granted, that's the first game of the season. Patriots are 3-3, so that's a total of 7-5. Dolphins are 1-5, so that's basically 8-10 for our competitors. 10-13 for the Lions. 12-17 for the Bears, 13-22. So that gives a good picture of where we are as a team. Overall, the Jets have turned it around. I get that. But for the most part, the teams we've been playing combined are 13-22. They're almost at a .33 win percentage. So as much as we're 5-0 and I want to celebrate that, I'm just not so sure we can. Yeah, and we're barely beating them. Of the 5 wins, 4 of them have been on last second, have been by 1 score. Yeah, and generally some that involved a last minute comeback. So we're going to have to see how this works. Now with our breakout player, Ahim, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but that's just how I'm going to go with it. Hold Minnesota to less than 100 yards rushing or get him 1 tackle for a loss. Now, he's not a mainstay on the defensive lines, but whenever he is in the game, he generally puts an impact out there. So, that holding them to less than 100 yards, they do have Dalvin Cook, so I'm not so sure that's going to be, the most easiest thing to do. I find that hard to imagine, but it's just one of those things we're going to have to try. And if anything, I should be able to get him at least 1 tackle for a loss, I would like to believe. So taking a look, we have Alexander Johnson, our middle linebacker, is coming up. Kareem Jackson, Glasgow. All these guys are over 30 years old, and Glasgow, I may have no other choice because there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of offensive linemen available right now, at least. And I don't know what's going to be there come free agency for that. I might have to start trying to figure out a way to check out the other teams to see what their re-signings look like if I can, to see who they have available, who might be hitting the free agency market. Because the draft, I just ain't cutting it with what's available in that draft. Now, I figure, looking at some of the free safety and even the linebacker stuff, that there's potential we can get one of these guys and actually shift them to a different position. So that's why it's still, free safety. There's some good choices for free safety. Defensive back we always need because we're getting completely torn up in the passing game. Like I said, with our best one being an 80 overall, Jadarius Ward, I'm not so... one of these first rounded may come out and be basically at that rating, and by the end of the season, be closer to the mid 80s. So it's what we're going to have to take a look at. And like I said, free agency is going to depend a lot on who we actually end up picking as we go on. But with all that stuff done, let's go ahead and jump into this game here in Minnesota, as we're going to be at about the 6-minute mark in the first quarter, already trailing to Minnesota 7-0. Because Dalvin Cook rushed all over us. And Drew Lock says anything Dalvin Cook can do, he can do slower, as he does go running and gets down to the 19-yard line on that one. That was a 20-yard rush. But still, it's Drew Lock. I mean, let's be honest. He's no athletic talent. He's not a swift-of-foot quarterback. But we do have a brand new set of downs. So inside the red zone here, about the 5-minute mark, Drew Lock is going to be in the shotgun. We have 3 wide receivers and Melvin Gordon in the backfield with us. As we're going to get the snap, Minnesota brings the pressure. We fired over to Sutton. He fights forward. He's into the end zone as we got this game tied up rather quickly on that one. Great drive and great individual effort by Sutton, pushing forward as he makes the catch and fights through the tacklers to go down in the end zone. And now we're going to jump ahead into the second quarter. The game is still tied 7-7. Marcus Mariota is now the quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings. And he has 71 passing yards, but about this point he's got about 50 to 60 rushing yards on us, so that about evens out. He does throw that one to Cook off to the flat, but Cook will run out of bounds for whatever reason. I don't know why, for a 2-yard loss, as that brings up 2nd and 12 from the 29. Now Mariota is in the shotgun once again. He gets the snap. We bring the pressure, and Austin Rose is going to finally get through and bring him down. Austin Rose, our rookie, gets a big stop on that one to bring Marcus Mariota down for the sack, as that almost pushes him out of field goal range. That'd be a 56-yarder from there. That would be a hefty boot. But it is 3rd and 19 still from the, actually that's the 36-yard line. Oh, we got him all the way back to the 39. Oh well. So 3rd and 19 now from the 36. Mariota is going to be in the shotgun as he's going to get the snap, and it looks like a screen pass. We do read it pretty effectively, but they still put the blocks on. And Dalvin Cook is finally going to be brought down by Kareem Jackson at about the 31-yard line, as that will force them to kick a field goal. Now on our ensuing drive, we have a 2nd and 4 from the 33. Drew Lock's going to drop back and fire it over to Hamler. He's going to finally get hit out of bounds down at the 21-yard line. There's only about 3.5 minutes to go in the second quarter. These drives have been long, methodical drives. So now 1st and 10 from the 21. In the shotgun, Locke scans the field, fires it over to Judy. He's going to make a great play on that one as Locke got hit as he released it. And Judy's going to get a gain of 5 yards, bringing us down to the 16-yard line. As he released it right at that perfect moment. Anything later probably would have been a fumble. So now 2nd and 5. We're going to go heavy set, 2 tight ends to the right. Hand it off to Cone. And Cone's going to get down just for a gain of a yard. It is tough sledding for him today. He has 6 rushes for 12 yards. Normally he's a little bit more effective at that whenever we pair him up with Melvin Gordon coming out of the shotgun formations. So that does take us to the 2-minute warning here in the first half with a big 3rd and 3 conversion needed. So we're going to go with a little bit of a screen pass. Hopefully they bring that blitz to us and we can get right past them. As we do drop it off, and they didn't really bring a blitz, so they went and dropped it more into the zone, but there still just wasn't anybody there to collapse as we do get down to the 9, and that one will give us a 1st and goal now from the 9-yard line. And those Minnesota fans are PO'd about that one. So now 1st and goal. Drew Lock is going to be in the shotgun. 2 to our right. We got Sutton to our left. He gets the snap. Minnesota brings pressure on the left side. He'll fire it over to Sutton, and that one's just not going to be able to be completed. Not the greatest pass. We were under a lot of pressure there, to be fair. So now 2nd and goal from the 9. Once again, Drew Lock is in the shotgun. Hands it off to Melvin Gordon on the draw play, and Gordon's going to fight forward for a gain of 5 yards. His day has been going a little bit better at 7 rushes for 35 yards. So 3rd and goal. 40 seconds left in the half. Just waiting this one down from the 4-yard line, letting that clock run for if we don't get it, and we're not going to come down with it. He got the pass just out of bounds, and that's what I was thinking may happen. So with 30 seconds left, we're going to kick this field goal, and we're going to get this game tied up going into halftime. So now coming out of the break, 10-10 ball game. Minnesota will have it as they go big formation to the left side. Drop it off to one of their tight ends who's going to get a big gain all the way down to the 43. As this game is getting pretty close. We're getting into the 3rd quarter. Like I said, still 10 minutes to go. So a lot of football left. But we need to have that breakaway moment from our offense. We need something big to happen from our defense to help kind of spur that along, I have a feeling. So now on the 1st and 10, they're going to hand it up to Oh my goodness, Dalvin Cook runs through the middle as we just open up like the Red Sea. And that's a 57-yard touchdown for him. That was disgusting to see. Now we trail by 7, trying to bring it back to a tied ball game with a 1st and 10 from Minnesota 36. Drew Lock's going to fire it over to our tight end. He fights forward and makes a big play down to the 7. Oh my goodness. That linebacker crept up as Judy crossed in front of him and opened it up behind him for our tight end for Locke to just drop it in there. That worked out about as perfect as you can hope for. And then he powers forward to pick up a couple extra yards after initial contact. So 1st and goal from the 7, trying to make this a tie ball game. Drew Lock is in the shotgun, scans the field. He's going to throw it over, and Judy's going to get blasted as he tries to make that catch. And we will not be able to come down with it. So 2nd and goal coming up from the 7-yard line. Locke is going to be under center. We do have 2 tight ends off to the right side. Judy and Sutton spread out wide. Locke's going to find the hole open. He's going to get blasted as he crosses the goal line, though. That will be his 2nd rushing touchdown in as many games, as he's starting to try to prove that we should maybe keep him. But little secret, people, I can already tell I'm probably not. At most, I'll trade him come the offseason. I'm not keeping him. He's just not somebody I want on my team. So now the score being 20-17, a little bit later in the 4th quarter, as we did nab a field goal. They just heave it up. You've got to be kidding me. Marcus Mariota just heaves it down the field as this game is getting ridiculous now. 20-17. For some reason, double coverage. Although, to be fair, I should stop going for the interceptions. I really should, because that's, I think, kind of why that happens a lot. And so now Mariota from the shotgun. He's going to actually get sacked. We were able to bring him down on that one. That was Mr. Holt, another one of our rookie defensive tackles, coming through, making a big play for us. Coming right off the line. Normally, Mariota's been able to scramble out of those, but not today. Not right now. Well, plenty of times today, just not on that play, actually. It's now 2nd and 15 from the 16-yard line. Minnesota trailing by 3. As Mariota's going to get the snap, he's going to end up throwing it over to our man. And we're going to get that picked off. Who is that? Jackson? That is, oh my goodness. Jackson is going to head down the field, as that was a great play by him. A beautiful read. Kareem Jackson. I might just sign him for another year or 2 just for that one play alone. Now, we are not able to get a touchdown, but we do get a field goal. So Minnesota gets another shot at it, and that is going to be a coverage sack. Wallace will get in there after, they had about 5 seconds. Don't get me wrong, we didn't bring a whole lot of pressure. Mariota just could not find anybody. As we now have 2nd and 15, under 6 minutes ago from the Denver 47, Mariota is going to be in the shotgun. Once again, as he gets the snap, and they're running the screen passes, they drop it off to Cook. Cook's going to get going and actually make a man miss, but will finally be hit out of bounds at about the 40-yard line, so for a gain of about 7. And if they drop off the screen pass to Cook, that's about as good as you can really hope for whenever he gets the ball in his hands. So, all right, 3rd and 8 now. Coming in at under 5 minutes to go. They throw it out to Cook once again in the flat. He makes the catch, and that one will fall out of bounds. So 4th and 2. Here we go from the 34. This is a big-time play. 4th and 2, needing to make a stop. If we can get a stop and then a basic field goal once again, we will have this game sealed up. So now Marcus Mariota is going to be in the shotgun. He gets the snap, and he throws a slant, and Adam Thielen's going to make the catch and then make me look like a fool as he does his little juke maneuver. And I go flying past him, as that gives Minnesota down to the 14. We've had Thielen fairly well covered. He's only got 3 receptions on the day, but that one was a big one. And so Mariota from under center hands it off to Dalvin Cook, who's going to fight forward as they're basically just running the ball like they know they're about to get a damn touchdown. So 2nd and 3, 4 minutes to go. Minnesota 21 feet away from trying to take the lead. Mariota is going to be in a shotgun as he gets the snap. We bring a little bit of pressure, and we're going to actually get to him and bring him down for a sack. Big-time play by the defense. Wallace gets in again. That was a great effort by him to bring down Marcus Mariota. As he tried to scramble away, he did not let him get free. Even after missing the initial sack, he follows through and brings him down. So now there's a 3rd and 6 coming at the 10 for Minnesota, trailing by 6, 3 minutes to go. Mariota's in the back, gets the pass off to the left side. Their tight end runs out of bounds. You've got to be kidding me. They get it to the tight end. He runs out of bounds at the 4. I guess the positive thing is the clock stopped at least. But they do have a first down. So that sucks. So 1st and goal now, from the 4-yard line. Mariota's going to be in the shotgun. They have everything set off heavy to the left side, and they send Cook in motion to the left side. Oh my goodness, we try to bring some pressure. They drop it off to Rudolph, their tight end, and he's just going to get an easy touchdown on that one, and they will take the lead. Now, unfortunately, we went 3 plays and out, so Minnesota did get the ball back. And we are having to try to use our timeouts very carefully because there's only a minute left in this one. As we will blast Dalvin Cook, and he doesn't fumble that time. Simmons coming through with a beastly hit. And we end up having to use our first timeout there. It is now 2nd and 3. We cannot allow a first down, or else this game is basically over and we will have our first loss. So on the 2nd and 3, they run it to the right side on the counter, and Dalvin Cook, he just hauls butt and gets into the end zone. Now we're going to be trailing back. You've got to be kidding me. That is such a BS defense. He collapsed the side. We just left a wide open hole. I think anybody could have run through that one. Hell, I could have run through that one for a touchdown, for God's sakes. So we're going to take over with just 1 minute to go here, trailing by 8 as we get the pass off to Melvin Gordon on the screenplay. And he picks up a pretty decent gain down to the 38-yard line. Brand new set of downs. 55 seconds remaining in this one. So now 1st and 10 from the 38. Drew Lock is going to be in the shotgun. We get the snap. They bring the pressure. We fire it over to Hamler on the out route, and that's a great pass and catch for a gain of about 11 yards once again, as that gets us to the 44-yard line. Actually, of Minnesota. That's about 20 yards on that one. 50 seconds remaining. Drew Lock is going to be handling it tight. Hails it up. Cortland Sutton brings it down. You've got to be kidding me. At the 24-yard line, he actually made the catch in triple coverage, as this gives us a little bit new life as the clock continues to tick with 28 seconds to go in this ballgame. We throw it over to our tight end. He's going to make a man miss, and he powers his way down to the 13, where we will have to use our second timeout. So we still have 1 timeout remaining. Brand new set of downs. 19 seconds left on the clock. Trailing by 8. Needing some big plays here. Drew Lock is going to get the snap. They bring the pressure. Fire it. And that's going to be a touchdown. Robinson. He makes a catch over the middle. And that was a big-time play for his first career touchdown reception, as we are now within a 2-point conversion away from taking this one to overtime. As Locke is going to go 5 wide again and spread them out, and hopefully we can get our tight end on that slant route. As they drop it, they bring some pressure. Drew Lock's going to get him into the end zone up the middle for the 2-point conversion, as this comeback is almost completed. This one is going to take us into overtime. And I thought we were done when we gave up that rushing touchdown to Dalvin Cook. But not yet. And so here we are, 6 minutes in overtime remaining, as the Minnesota has the ball, but Simmons is going to come through with an interception. He's heading back down to the other side of the field, as he'll be brought down at the 42-yard line, as Simmons comes up with a big-time interception when we needed it, as we have got another chance. Can we have another Drew Lock moment? For the 5th time this season, we need Drew Lock to bring us back for a touchdown and the win. So 1st and 10 from the 42. Lock's going to fire it over the middle to Sutton, and that one's going to fall incomplete on the slant pattern. He was pretty well covered, and we are kind of lucky that one did not get intercepted. So 2nd and 10 now. And still 5.5 remaining from the 42. Lock's going to be in the shotgun, multiple wide receivers spread out. He gets the snap, kind of drifts over, and we're going to find our tight end on the little curl route, sitting down in the zone, getting us about 9 yards on that play. So 3rd and 1 from the 49-yard line of Minnesota. We're going to go 2 tight ends from under center. We hand it off to Cone. We only needed one, but we got two. So that's all we need because we have a brand new set of downs now. The clock is continuing to tick. Now, the next score does win at this point. So we've both had possession of the ball. So the next score wins the game. So it's not like a field goal, they'll have another shot. Now in a 1st and 10, we try to fire it to Judy, but him and Cone just run into each other and prevent him from getting it to the ball. Just thankfully there was no defender there. As we find ourselves with a 2nd and 10 now from the 47-yard line. Drew Lock's going to scan the field, and that one's almost intercepted by their linebacker, but he does drop it. Thankfully, 3rd and 10. Here in overtime, 4.5 minutes ago, 47-yard line of Minnesota. Drew Lock is alone in the backfield, fires it over to the tight end. They brought some pressure. Our tight end got out there on the little minor post pattern, and that one will be a big play down to the 30-yard line. And here we go. This is a brand new type of ball game at this moment. I'm going to try to just power it in and waste down some more of that clock, just in case we do miss the field goal, because I don't see us getting a touchdown at this point. We're going to have to go for the safer route. So we hand it off to Gordon for a gain of about 2 yards up the left side. It has been a pretty sluggish go for us in the rushing game at least. We have not been getting the same holes that we've been offering for Minnesota to run through. Now on that 2nd and 8, we're going to go up the left side this time to Cone, for a gain of about 5. We kind of offset the right side with some heavier guys, and we're able to get down to the left. Now 3rd and 3, almost to the 2-minute mark. We're going to run a little trap to Gordon up the middle, and we've got the 1st down now. That is exactly what we needed. We're at the 18. I can kick a field goal. They try to ice us, but this is where we are. Here in Minnesota. Overtime. Fairbairn. For the 2nd time this episode. He gets the kick, and that's good. We will take this one home as a winner. Undefeated still on the season. Fairbairn is looking like our team MVP. Either him or Drew Lock. I hate to say it, but I'm going to get rid of Drew Lock, so I'm voting for Fairbairn. And that's where my ballot's going to. Fairbairn, of our 6 wins now, I think he's had 4 of them. 3 or 4 have been his game winners, that he's had to do. And Justin Simmons right there on that interception in overtime made a great play. Cortland Sutton, just outstanding performance by him as well. We had 375 passing yards, 125 rushing yards, 500 in total to their 476. So we did beat them out there. And the turnovers were the tail of this game. We got that turnover in overtime, and that's really what set us up for the big-time win. So now, while we get into doing some of these upgrades, I do want to remind y'all to go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you have not already. And if you did like today's video, hit that little thumbs up button and that bell notification icon, so that way you can be notified of all the Champ and Sons content every time we get some new posts put out here. So we are 6-0 on the season. Chavarius Ward, it says 82. That's because of his morale. So he's really, an 81. That's our number 1 defensive back that we have, ladies and gentlemen, an 81 overall. So we definitely have got some areas to improve. Although 6 weeks into this, or really 7 weeks into this season with the bye, we are still undefeated, ladies and gentlemen. Now we come into a harder part of our season facing off against Kansas City twice and Green Bay. Those are going to be some tough 3 games that we got coming up. So before we check out, let's take a look at what all boost we get. 500 XP for our offensive line and defensive coordinator. Even though they ran the ball all over us, we're still going to get 500 XP for our defensive line as well. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the next week, and I will catch y'all in that episode. So as always, everybody, stay safe, and, well, you know how it goes. Later, y'all.